Now that we created your gallery template, we have to define how it looks. So let's open up your template file. Now, we are going to go back and define areas or regions within this. So for example, in your HTML assignment, I asked you to make a different color background within a certain area on your index using the div tag. We're going to use the same HTML tag to do so. To add your first div tag, go to Insert, Div. The next step is to give it a name. Each div tag should have a unique name within the file so we can define how it looks. Since we've not made this before, we have to define that this is going to be a new rule. We also have to then tell it where we want to save this. So by default, it will say this document only. This is important that you change this to new style sheet and always check to make sure it's going out to your style sheet. So we're going to have one file that contains the layouts for this entire template. And since this is the first one we're adding, we'll have to go back and make sure we set this up. Click on OK. Where do you want to save this? By default, you probably drop in your gallery folder. We want to make sure we put this in your CSS subfolder. I'm going to open up this. Save as type should be style sheet. File name. I want to type in gallery layout. Click on save. The next step is what changes do you want to make on this? There's a couple different ways of getting back into this if you'd accidentally close out. We'll talk about that in the next video. But in this case, all we're doing is we're going to define how big to make this box and where do you want this on your page. So I'm going to go to your box category here. The book has asked that we make this 800 wide. Always check to make sure your units of measurement are what's matching up with what the pictures show in the book. The other thing is we're going to have this go to the center of your page. So underneath the margin area, I'm going to deselect same for all. I'm going to toggle auto for right and left. This will create this box to float to the middle. Click on OK and OK. Now, the div was created right here in the middle. Also, underneath CSS, I now have a style sheet that has the definitions for this. Also, as I look down here on my status bar, I'm within the body of my document, and now I have the div container. If I switch back over to my code view, this looks similar to what we were doing back in the HTML assignment. So we start off with the document type. We have HTML. This is your heading area. And then within the body down here for rows 13 through 17, this is my first div. This is where it starts and this is where it ends. Now by default it puts in this generic text right here. We can remove that. We don't have to keep that there. So now the next step is we're going to add other divs inside the container. We'll show you that in the next video.